So let's look at the role of event promoter. Event promoter is someone at the cutting edge of what we do, and it's working hand in hand with the sales presentations that we will be doing every week. And we want to build the sales presentations through having an international group of event promoters that are bringing people to that particular formula that we're going to be working with. And that means that we're going to be doing through the week 2-hour workshops that will involve breakout rooms. It will involve really cutting edge information and give people coming to our events the opportunity to take the next step. We, as an organization, want to provide people who are coming out of work with a new role. And those people generally will be more senior executives or people who have had a more leadership role, and they want to use that particular structure, those talents that they've got in a new way. And that, as a new industry, the mental acceleration industry, is a super cool place for them to step in. So that's one kind of person that we're looking for. There's another kind of person that just wants to have more creativity, wants more self-confidence, better communication skills, more awareness, more curiosity that isn't going to be pushed down, more power to sort of create in the world the kind of life that they want, rather than feeling that they're a victim. And that is something that we give to people all the time. We give them this confidence, communication, and creativity skills and a greater level of awareness. And that's just level one. Beyond that, we take them into super states of creativity where they can start to really go into, as I said, something called hemispheric synchronization, which is where the mind is using both sides in balance and starting to really go into a state of flow. Now, you might have heard about this in Silicon Valley, but flow state is what everybody is talking about. And that is what you're introducing to people. Would you like to go into flow state and start to use the brain in the way it was designed to do? And that means that you're changing and starting to manage the brain in a way where you're accessing certain brain frequencies that allow you to be highly creative, highly good at problem solving, and have no limits. And now there's a lot of structures to do this. There's a lot of things one has to master. It isn't just go, okay, I'm going to go on a seminar and I'm going to sort it all out in 5 minutes. I'll be like Neo from the Matrix. We're not talking about that. This is serious stuff. This is seriously where you're going to be talking to people and you're going to be giving them a bit of an understanding about what we do and why we do it. And you don't want to go too deep. You just want to start to go as deep as the person is able to go, because your job is simple. It's really, as an event promoter, your job is to get someone inspired about themselves and say, well, the future is going to be this, and this is what you might want to do, and you might as well take a couple of hours out of your time, invest it for an evening, and go on a workshop and go through it. And that is what your job is. It's to persuade someone just to attend a workshop. Now, we want to be able to work with people who are of that high PQ. That means that they're at that point of breaking out where what's been isn't what they want anymore. You know, they've done the job maybe 17 years or 20 years or 5 years, and they've just got bored. And they don't want a life that's going to be going on the same way where you're going 3 bags full for somebody else who's your boss. They don't want that. They want freedom. And let's use that word where it is. You want freedom to be able to live the life you want and be able to have the things you would like and have the impact that you probably always dreamt of. But no one's giving you an opportunity. And that is what we do as an organization. We give people opportunity. We've got people who are 21, 22, 23 who are running this organization that only joined the organization a year ago. That's how quick we're talking. And we're talking about people who are pitching in Monaco. 23-year-old looking for 10 million to support this particular organization's growth. And that could be you. No one's saying it can't be. Anyone with potential who wants to develop it is welcome in this organization, because we just want people who want to make a difference in the world when it's important to make a difference, working with people who want to make a difference, doing something that makes a difference at a time when it's very important to make a difference. And if that's you, well, you're a person that we really want to work with, because we spend most of our time trying to find people with high PQ. And it's a hard job because a lot of people are so self-based. They don't really care about other people. They don't care about the fact that not just caring about other people, but caring about the society that we live in as a whole. Or they might think about their own little district or their own town or own city or country. But we're in a globalization situation right now where we've got to start thinking big. And if you can think big, then you're going to be able to inspire other people. If you think small and your world is particularly small, then you're not going to be able to inspire a baked bean. And that's what this is about. You've got to look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, what is it I'm here to do? Do I want to do a job for its own sake where my boss tells me what time to go to work and what time to come home and, whether I can go to the toilet and I go 3 bags full? Is that really what life's about? Or is it about freedom? Is it about doing something well and making a difference and having an impact and getting paid very, very well for doing so? Because that's what this role is about. And we want to give you the opportunity to not prove to us that you can do it, but to prove to yourself. Because what makes a success in this world? It's the ability to communicate a message with somebody else in a very good way that inspires them with trust, inspires them with the belief that you as an individual know what you're talking about and you're guiding them down the right path. Most people are incredibly scared. They're incredibly skeptical because they've been not necessarily turned over by other people, but they've just heard it so much in the press and on the TV. They're scared shitless. And for us as an organisation, our biggest hurdle is getting people over that hurdle. And that's your job as an event promoter. We want you to be able to bring people to our workshops and feel good about what you're doing and feel good that when those people come to the workshop, they're going to come back to you and go, thank you for taking me to that workshop because it was super interesting, never heard anything like it before, and I really appreciate you giving me that invitation. Now, when you're inviting people to go to a particular event, there are certain mechanisms that in this training I'm going to go through to make your job easy. I'm not saying it's easy because talking to people, there's now as funny as folk and they can be really quite odd sometimes. And really, even when you sort of take a horse to water, you can't make it drink. It can be as good as you like. It can be offering £1 million in a bag and people will still say no. So this is where you've got to start to use your communication skills. You've got to be, like I said before, confident, creative, and a good communicator. And if you're not that right now, it doesn't matter. You can learn. But it's going to be practice that gets you there. You're going to have to practice talking to people and start to master the art. Most people on this planet, they start to want to go and get a job and think, okay, I can make some money straight away and I'm going to, it doesn't matter if I can do the job very well. That becomes very, very secondary. Unfortunately, within the way we work, you doing the job really well is really important because your contact actually makes a very big, powerful difference as to whether somebody decides to take on what we're talking about as far as a training is concerned. Now, the trainings we do are incredibly inexpensive to get involved with at quite a deep level. But also, we have very expensive ones because they go up to about £45,000 for someone to do a year-long career training. Now, there is a benefit for you in that, in the fact that we've got a range of commissions and bonus structures that you can have for inviting those sorts of people. And for the people who are part of our organisation, if they actually get a market to a business and that businessman comes on, we can, pay them up to £9,000 for that introduction. So in American terms, that's close to $14,000 for one conversation. But that's not a smaller part of this. If you are capable of learning what I'm going to be talking about and you can start to communicate that message to people who are running larger businesses and they have people, maybe a sales force or they have a marketing force or they have an innovation team or really anybody who could do with more creativity, more motivation, more direction, more personal power, better communication, confidence and creativity, anyone like that, well, we can train groups of people. Now, if you can open up groups of people, let's say you got in touch with a corporation and that corporation decided to put 100 people on our training, well, that would be worth as a contract probably something like £300,000 to you for that one introduction. That's close to, $400,000 for working that introduction. And now I'm not saying it's easy. It's where you have to have a certain amount of stealth, you have to have a certain amount of confidence and the ability to articulate and use the tools that we're going to give you to open that up. So in this business that we're in, we're very keen with working for large organizations and having event promoters that can get us into those. But that's really a business development role. And that's a big role. And you need to have a little bit of skill and a little bit of experience to do that. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying that, if you want to go and try it, super cool. Because there's a lot of businesses in the world that could do with innovation training. And certainly within Silicon Valley, there's a lot of innovation training that's needed. And they love flow state and they want anything about it. And this is going to be right up their street. But to start you off, we need to get you confident. And we need to be confident that you can do the job. Because this is going to be a remote role. I'm based in Zurich and we're based all over the world as far as trainers are concerned. And we want event promoters that are self-motivated. They can get out of bed in the morning and then work hard during the day as this is their business. They're going to be making money through those contacts. And we want to know that you can do that. We don't want to do, it's a minimum of supervision. We don't want to supervise you. We don't want you to have a boss. We don't believe in those sorts of things. We believe that you can be your own boss, but it's pretty hard sometimes because the world out there is not exactly favorable. It's not exactly helping anybody because it's in a negatively polarized situation. But we want, that seed has to come from you. And we want to know that you can do the activity. That means that you can do the legwork, the phone work, the writing work, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on Facebook, joining groups, whether it's doing networking, whether it's phoning companies direct, whether it's talking to people in the street, whether it's talking to people in business, getting on your ones and twos. All of those things take activity. If you are prepared to do the activity and you're prepared to put the hours in during the week, because we're not going to watch you, we haven't got a camera in your house, we can't do that. We want you to be able to show to yourself and show to us that you can invite people and become more and more effective at it. Like any new role, it's not going to be so easy in the first few days, first few weeks, but you're going to get better at it. And you're going to start to see angles because you're going to practice conversations and you'll find those conversations repeat themselves again and again. In other words, you're going to become a master of the conversational art of event promotion. And you're going to be able to promote all our events, which will be going on every week. And you can invite as many people as you particularly wish. Now, I'm going to go through in this training how you might want to do that. I'm going to go through some of the aspects that you're going to look at and what you're going to feel about it, all right? And what kind of reactions you're going to get. Our interest is your continued motivation and your continued success and making as much money as possible. But I don't want you to feel that money is the root of all evil. It's the way to pay your bills and get you out the shit and also have a great life. So money isn't something to turn your eye away from. It's something that you've got to start looking at and going, this is a transactional situation, it's an energetic situation, and you want more of that energy than less. So we're going to take this step by step. We're going to take it easy in these particular videos, or audios in this particular case. And I want you to think about, as I go through this training, what your feelings are. That means your negative feelings that are going to come to the fore, your positive feelings. And I want you to start to look at those in a certain way. Now, the reason for that is as we go forward, I'm hoping that you're going to really put your back behind this and get some results from it that make your life different. And that means that I can put you in a position where you're starting to lead other people, because we need people to manage other people on a global basis. Now, you might be doing that by Zoom, you might be doing it live. it doesn't really matter. It's all about getting results. And you're going to be working with me and other members of the team to get this as seamless as possible so everything is easy for you. We want you to really feel that you can concentrate in every conversation and that you've got a great message to share. So it's all about your motivation, your passion, and the ability for us to give you and the opportunity to get you to a point where you are getting everything that you want. And I mean absolutely everything. And there is no stone that we will not turn over if you are prepared to get us people and work to promote our organization and promote the events that we're going to be doing. You know, if you're prepared to do that, then we're prepared to stand by you and really put you in a position of whatever it is that you want to do that job. We want you to be able to write your own ticket with us. But in the first position, we have to go through a period of training, a period of trial to see if this suits you. You know, to see if you can start to get through the first week that will be difficult and the second week and start to make the grounds and to stick with it so you can start to find your groove and you can make a real powerful difference and a major career from this particular role.